Hey everybody, I'm Ryan and this is Get Your Mind Right. So a couple weeks ago I made a post and I basically was out having a drink, margaritas specifically, and I was thinking about a time that I was seeing somebody in a serious relationship and how much this man kept asking me for a threesome. Now, out of all the men I've dated, I've only had one man ask me for a threesome. And this man, he was very, very diligent about this threesome. So the first time he asked me, I just said no, left it at that. Then the second time he asked me, I said no again. Then the third time he asked me, I said no again. But this time, he gave his 2 cents. So basically, this man really believed in his mind that, that mostly majority of all women are bisexual and that when female friends get together, they're most likely doing something sexual. So I'm looking at him like that doesn't even make sense. So my big comeback when a man tries to use the whole thing of all women do it, I always say, well, do your mom do it too? So when he said it to me, I said, so you saying your mom is bisexual as well? And a look on his face, he was pissed. But that didn't stop him from asking me about a damn threesome. So then he asks me again, and I say no again. So one day we're having a drink and we hanging out, and he mentions the threesome again. And I say to him, well, who would the threesome be with? Would it be with another woman or would it be with another man? And so he's sitting there and he's thinking, he said, well, with a woman, of course. And I was like, well, how do you know I want to have a threesome with another woman? How do you know that I may want to have a threesome with another man included? So he kind of goes silent. The conversation switches up to something else. Another time, we're at his house having drinks, and as we're sitting there, well, before I get to that, I would say this man has asked me for a threesome over 5 times. Okay, so back to the night we at his house having drinks. I think we just came back from bowling. We was in a really good mood. So I brought up to him. I said to him, have you ever been with another man sexually? And he sat there and he was like, no, but I have thought about it. And so I said, well, it's a new day and age. What's stopping you? I mean, you could do it. Nobody would know about it. I mean, that's your business. Who will ever know? Only person that's going to know is you and the guy you do something with. So the conversation kind of like wiggles, fades out or whatever. But in my mind, I'm wondering to myself, what made him be that comfortable to actually say that his ass has thought about having a sexual encounter with a man? So in my mind, I'm just like, maybe we drunk. Now, do I believe what he says? Yes, I totally believe what he says. So after he said it to me, I would say we were still in a relationship, but in my mind, the seriousness went away from it. So now it's just me having fun to me, technically. So we break up, life goes on. And like I said, that day, I'm sitting out and I'm having my drink and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, it hits me in my head. I know why his ass kept asking for a damn threesome. You know why, y'all? Based off of him saying the comment of, oh, he thinks about sleeping with other men, sleeping with men, but he don't do it. Guess what? He's trying to live through me. He's trying to put his sexual ideas onto me so that eventually, right? So what the plan was, what I feel like his plan was, and you may feel like, oh no, Ryan, you wrong, but hear me out. The man already just admitted that he has thoughts of doing this. Then he's asked me over 5 times to have a threesome. Why are you trying to make me into something that I'm not? Are you trying to live out your fantasy through me? What was the game plan to get me to have a threesome with him and another woman? And then eventually down the line, a man comes along and he wants to do one with a man. And then he looks at me where it's like, well, you did something with a woman. And then I feel like, well, okay, I guess he's right. He could do something with a man. Now, that may sound very far-fetched to plenty of people, but to me it doesn't, because this man had a real He had a real obsession with lesbians, like a real obsession with it. Like I said, he asked me so many times to have a threesome, and he really had in his mindset that all women do stuff with other women. Like, I remember one time we even had a friend that was a lesbian, because this was like a big friendship group. And one day she was talking about her sexcapade. And when I tell you, this man was so mad, he was like, "Yeah, women could do it all night long. Did it? I need a break. I'm not trying to be doing that all night." When have you ever act like you don't want to have intercourse all night? But in his mind, he thinking of, how women. He thinking in his mind like we women, we could just keep going and going and going with each other, because with a man, he either got to pop a pill or he got to stop for a second, not for a second, but probably for a few minutes, a couple minutes, an hour or so, to rebuild that sperm back up. Rebuild that sexual strength back up. If y'all could have seen his face, because I will never forget that day of looking at my friend and saying, "Is he mad that he not a lesbian? The hell?" Right? So the first sign was him asking me for a threesome over 5 times. First time, okay, I'll let you slide with that, because you just testing the waters. Everybody tests people, right? Now I will say this: no other man has asked me for a threesome. So, I could look at it as, is there something about me that will make him think I want to have a threesome? And let me first say this: I don't think there's nothing wrong with people having threesome. If that's their choice, that's their choice. I don't sit back to myself and think people who have threesomes are bad people, right? Because I actually know married couples who have threesomes, okay? And they seem pretty happy, I guess. So for me, I won't say him asking me for a threesome was my first clue. It was how many times he did it. One time, okay, cool. Everybody's gonna ask a question, test it. 2 times, I'm not gonna feel too disrespected, because I understand you trying to push my no. You understand? Um, I guess I felt secure in myself, because I would tell another woman, him asking you so many times is a sign of disrespect. I guess for me, it was a sign of disrespect. However, I just knew I wasn't going to do it. So it wasn't no big old deal to me. So the first sign, like I said, is his need to continue to ask me over and over and over and over and over again. Second sign something's up is when he said he has had thoughts of getting down with a man. And then the third sign is him being visibly upset, and I mean very visibly upset, that our lesbian friend at the time was having all night long sex. The other sign was him believing that all women are bisexual. So it's kind of like you projecting. You projecting something. I wasn't sure then, and it didn't really cross my mind until the day I was out having a drink, and it really dawned on me. This fool was trying to live through me. This fool was trying to project his sexual cravings, his sexual feelings upon me, and then later on, most likely would have used it against me, right? Because I could picture it. I could sincerely picture him, me doing it, and maybe a year down the line. Oh, let me go back. And he also said he had a friend that paid him to record his massage session where he got a happy ending. Why would your friend pay you for that? Why would your friend want to see you in the act of doing that? There's websites, I think, or like you could go to porn sites and probably see those type of things on there, like massage happy endings. Why would your close friend want to see you in that position? And your friend is a man too. Like, that's kind of crazy to me, right? So to me, he had all these little funny signs about him, which my dumb ass at the time didn't think. Okay, is he gay himself? What is he trying to do? But that day I was out, it all started going through my head. Everything started clicking, 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 clicking. I was in so much shock, because it all makes sense. How are you upset about lesbians having sex all night? You could do the same thing, I guess. Just take a pill. or just start taking better care of yourself. And you may not need a pill. Maybe you could get started at 10 p.m. Don't have an orgasm, meaning don't come as a man, and you could probably keep going through all night. I mean, you gonna have to take a break. I'm sure that my lesbian friend and the woman she was having intercourse with took a break sometimes. It wasn't like they was going at it nonstop 4 or 5 hours straight. I wouldn't even want to have intercourse like that. That is too much, right? But like I said, this man was pissed off about this. So in my mind, I feel like if a man keep asking you for a threesome, there's a saying of you might want to watch out because maybe he gonna step out on you. There's the idea of, you know, um, he wants to have this threesome because he wants to be able to cheat on you in your face and not get in trouble. Yes, you could use all those reasons, but I want people to keep in their arsenal. It's possible that this man is requesting this threesome so much because he's trying to live out his sexual fantasies through me. He's trying to make me become something that I don't want to be. He's trying to make me become something so he could later on become it, right? Because if some people may not consider you bisexual, some people may do. But I would say to myself, if I'm having multiple threesomes, I would probably consider myself bisexual, man. Um, so if you a woman and you finally get his threesome to his guy, and then y'all have another one, then he asks for another one, and you keep having them. What if? Just what if he's trying to eventually say to you, okay, I would like to bring another man in the room, and I want us all to touch each other, and you could be like, huh, I'm not, what? Well, you did it. I let you do it. I mean, really keep this in the back of your mind because this is very possible. This is very possible of, and this even could go for the same thing for men. Like, if you a man and you got a woman that keep wanting to have a threesome, and she may want to have a threesome because she probably bisexual. She wants to have an encounter with another woman. Okay? Now, it's a little slippery and different in that type of way, but I really want to talk about it from the point of view like I'm talking now, from a woman in a relationship with a man that is trying to have a threesome. And like I said, it could be so many reasons. It could be he just wants to do it. He just want to have two women at the time, right? Could it be that and if I feel like this, if one of the reasons is he wants to see you interact with another woman, to me right there, that already lets me know. That already lets me know he is most likely teetering the fence of him wanting to have a sexual encounter with another man. You can argue with me with this all day. I don't give a damn. Because that man I was with, I know for a fact that dude, he wanted to be a woman. He wanted to embrace his same gender loving, but through a woman. Okay, because like he said, he too scary to go through with it. So what he gonna keep doing? Every woman he with, trying to get them to have a threesome, trying to get them to have a threesome, trying to get them to have a threesome, because he wants to see all this in person. Watch a Watch something on a internet website. Then, if that's the case, well, what is your main goal, sir? Are you trying to prep me for when you want to come out? So you can say, well, you did it too. You're bisexual too. You know, I think I told this to my sister and she was dying laughing on the phone because she says, you know what, you may got a goddamn point, Brian. I said, I do. Sometimes you got to stop and think. And this could be anything in life. It could be, we got friends that care about us and they project, right? I had a friend once that she felt like I could always get us in the clubs. I could always get the guys to buy us drinks. Right. So we took our asses down in Los Angeles, and LA is a whole different crowd. And this was like maybe 10, 15 years ago. This was a while back. And so when we got there, the girls out there looked it totally different. And then the club we was going to was really more so non-black, right? So I get up there. Well, no, the club was a black club, but they really wasn't letting that many black girls come in, to tell you the truth. So we brought our tickets in advance. I get to the door. Like they was really playing with us, with letting us get in. She trying to push me forward to go do everything, and I'm like, shit. You put me on the spot is making me insecure. You think that them rejecting me ain't gonna make me feel away sometimes? Stop projecting. Stop trying to live through my beauty. Stop trying to live through me. Okay? So that may be like a little different example, but it still goes in through with people project. People will try to push things upon you to live through you sometimes. Kids, I mean, parents do it with their kids all the time. I'm just talking about in a different format of someone trying to push a threesome on you. What is their reasoning? So, all in all, ladies, if you are with a man that's trying to push you into a threesome, trying to push you into sleeping with other women, why? Why? Does he want you to have like double pleasure? Why you can't have double pleasure with another dude? Why does it have to be a woman? Does he what is he trying to live through? What's happening here? Okay? So, all in all, be aware of the threesome trap. Pay attention to what he says. Ask him the question like how I do. You don't never ask a man, are you gay? Right? Because nobody wants to be labeled. Right? So what you would do is, have you ever had sex with a man? Have you ever had thoughts of being with another man sexually? Would you let a guy suck your dick? You gotta have different verbiage to sometimes get people to give you the answer, right? It's kind of like a questionnaire. A questionnaire sometimes will have two of the same question, but the words reworded. And you like, why is they asking me this? But then somehow, some way, your answers are both different, right? I had a job before where I had to do questionnaires with people, and the people that I would do the questionnaires with, they would be so aggravated. But at the end, I would show them and I say, remember how I asked you these two questions and we both felt like it was the same question? You know that you just gave two different answers? And they'll look at it and say, oh, I did, but that's actually how I felt those two different answers. Yes, and that's very possible. That's very possible. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying you can't just come out and say, well, why do you want to have a threesome? Are you gay yourself? Are you trying to like, no, no, no. You got to ease it in. Ask certain questions to make your mind go, oh, okay. Now, I don't know what would be a good answer for a person to say to you, why I want you to have a threesome. Um, I don't know. You know what I mean? Can a man want you to have a threesome out of some like, well, I just want to see you be pleased and I want you to experience this. I mean, I guess I could say he could want you to feel that way, but why does it have to be with another woman? Why can it not be with another man? You see what I'm saying? So, I personally don't know what would be a good enough reason for a man to want you to have a threesome, unless he knew that you were curious about other women or you're bisexual yourself, right? Whereas, like, well, babe, I know you bisexual, so I want you to have some fun with a lady yourself because I know you into women, or I know you was curious, so we're gonna finally do it. Those would be my only mental reasons of why it would be appropriate, or why that would be a good enough reason of him asking you. Otherwise than that, what I said, you got the option of what you got. You got the option of him one to have a threesome because he just want to sleep with another woman and want you to know. Two, he wants to sleep with another woman in front of you. Three, he wants to be controlling, and so he's trying to control every aspect of your life, even down to your sexual preference. Or four, he's trying to live out his sexual, same gender loving fantasies through you. Bye.